going live. Happy full moon in Aries. So I am in, I was going to say the land down under, but no, I'm in the island of Jamaica. Been here for a couple of days, so I'm on a rooftop sharing the site with you. The clouds are behind me, but it got a bit dark. So I may have to do another video from this angle. I got to make sure I don't get in the shadow. Catching the little bit of light that's out on the rooftop and just speaking to you all about this full moon vibes. It's a full moon in Aries. This is where the North Node was supposed to be aligned with this full moon in Aries. That is pretty much bringing it all home, reflecting what was happening 6 months ago. So I just want to catch us up with that. Peace, love, and light, whoever's coming in. I'm just doing a quick impromptu running through. If you hear anything in the background, it is the sound of Jamaica. It's the traffic, it's the energy. So a lot of codes, a lot of light codes, a lot of heart. What can I say about this? Just leading up to this, the waxing moon, the phases are very important. And this waxing phase was really calling for a lot of us to be into our heart. You know, no coinky dink that I'm on my heart chakra. We're on our heart chakra day. I'm in my green, right? Hi, Miss Oracle. Hello, sister. It's been a minute. I know. I haven't been on in a couple of days, probably sometime last week. It was a lot transitioning into this land, returning back to our roots. A lot of letting go requires us to go back into our roots. So for me, it would be Jamaica. That is the root. So whatever your roots are, whatever countryside you come from, wherever your ancestors come from, it's really good to go back into the roots right now and retrieve what we need to retrieve and let go of what we need to let go of. A lot of us don't know what we need to let go of, and there's so much fear in the earth right now. I sense it, back home, and I even sense it here as I'm in Jamaica. There's a lot of people living in fear. And when I say fear, false evidence appearing real, I'm talking about the lack, the mind state of lack, right? Which blocks us from living in the mind state of abundance. Peace, love, and light. See, Marie, I see you. Right? I share love and light to you all. And I wanted to share with us the heart. That I was getting messages about the heart for the past maybe 2 weeks of getting back into the heart. I know my eyes may be a little dark right now. It's like I feel like I'm sleep talking too right now because I've been up a lot. It took a lot to transition over here, and even as I'm here, getting things done um, in a certain way, and just connecting back with the land codes. Y'all hear me talk about light codes? Yes, there are land codes. There are storm codes. There was a storm that passed through here yesterday, and I could just feel the wind, the breeze, and I was feeling the codes that were coming in with that storm. There were messages that being sent that were asking us to, stay put for those who can't move, not in a fearful way, but in a way of peace, be still and listen to the wind. Listen to the wisdom in the wind. And sometimes some of us need a storm to really sit still and go within. That heavy rain that pours, that you don't have no choice but to sit down and listen to that wisdom within. So a lot of this was coming up. Some of you may have felt storms, even if you didn't have a physical geological storm in your area. Some of you may have felt the storms brewing up, especially leading up to the full moon. Because the full moon, for those who don't know, the full moon brings the well of emotions. It rises your emotions in you, just like it rises the tides in the water. That's why I do my work with the full moon. It rises all the emotions, the energy in motion that needs to come up to the top. And right now, for us to release what we need to release, we need that rise up to the top. We need that. It's like I'm hearing that we need that self-rising dough, whatever that is that makes the dough rise. We need that. So it may feel uncomfortable, but what I can say is really get into your heart. The energies are asking us right now to get into our heart, be heart-centered, um, be in a posturing your heart. And there was some information that was coming to me that I wanted to share with you all about how to posture your heart, because we hear people say that posture your heart, get in your heart, and it really means to have an understanding, the understanding that is the overstanding that brings you to the inner standing of what is. We must be in our heart at all times. See, as I'm up here, I'm feeling the wind blow by me right now with this full moon. I was waiting for it to come up. It's supposed to be coming up behind me here, but it may be a little cloudy that's blocking it, and it just hasn't shown itself yet. Um, but yes, getting into our heart, knowing that it's the bridge. And as I speak on that, I share with you an understanding that came with like the Dorothy, the Wizard of Oz. Peace, love, and light. Peace, soul sister. All the soul sisters in here and the soul brothers, soul tribes. Um, it's almost like, I don't know how much of you have thought about this, but think about the Dorothy, the Wizard of Oz, and she's trying to get to what? The Emerald City. And that's the message that I was getting for like 2 weeks ago, like getting into the Emerald City. And that emerald is what? Green. So notice this, y'all. She's walking on a yellow brick road to get to the Emerald City. And that message is telling us we need to be walking. The yellow brick road would be our solar plexus. Walking into our solar plexus, through our solar plexus, which is our identity body. And really embracing who we are. Notice they're all walking down the yellow brick road trying to find out who they really are, who they already are, only to find out that they already knew they had it. You know, the Tin Man looking for a heart when he always had a heart. Scarecrow looking for a brain when he always had a brain. Everything you looking for, walking down the yellow brick road, walking through your solar plexus. Some of us are in our solar plexus, but not really, right? To find who it is we say we are, right? Or who we're in search of, who we think we are. And it is to walk that yellow brick road, walk through your solar plexus into your heart. Home is where the heart is, into the Emerald City, which is your heart. We need to walk into our heart chakra. Once we get there, we get an understanding. When they saw the wizard, they realized the wizard wasn't even who they thought he was. And the wizard was looking for something for himself. And the wizard had to remind them that everything you thought you had, it was already there. Dorothy looking for home when all she had to do was click her red shoes. What does that mean? A lot of us are looking for home when all we got to do is get to our root. And the shoes are the covering of your understanding. So get to your root in the covering of your understanding, of knowing what is, of tapping into your heart, right? And all these colors I'm saying on me right now, red, yellow, green, you know, click your heels and know that there's no place like home, because you are home. Right? A lot of us trying to do ET phone home. I'm talking to my star seeds too. A lot of us are like, I want to get out there in the stars. You are the star that is in here. So rather than getting out there, it's about fine tuning the star seed, find the star codes that you are in here. Because in here is where it's at. To get out is to go in. So these codes, there's so much that is coming up right now that is highlighting to us to tap into our higher selves, to get into our heart, to posture our heart, and to bring me back to posturing our heart. Some people may say, well, how do you posture your heart? It's about, for one, having understanding. Posturing your heart means not being judgmental, removing judgments, removing condemnation, and removing any unforgiveness. You can only posture your heart and be in a postured heart if you are removing any unforgiveness of self and of others. Removing any judgments of how you perceive and see the world, which was already placed on you through programming anyway. So break out of your matrix, break out of the old programming. This is what needs to be done right now with the energies. Utilize this full moon. This is I believe the last full moon that we're going to have while we're in that window of Pluto in Capricorn at 29 degrees. This is a very big window. Major. Do not take this lightly. Whatever is coming up for you, do not fight against it. What you resist will persist. The energies are asking you to go within, walk down your yellow brick road, click and get into the Emerald City, which is going to reconnect you with knowing that it was always in your root. Always. So go into your root chakra, beat drums, do things that connect your root to your heart. Your heart is the rhythm. of your soul. The heartbeat is the rhythm that brings you back to your root. That's why you had to get to the heart and then hear that rhythm that's going to bring you back to your roots. Some of you may need to do some physical activities to help align you with this, whether it's dancing, drumming, doing creative activities, do anything that brings your heart back into um, a peaceful place, into a space where you can be of understanding, right? So, and now it's getting darker. I know I'm losing my skylight. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to share that with you, that we need to posture our heart. That's the main message. The second main message I can say that we were getting was something to do with the solar plexus and the throat chakra. That has been coming up a lot. So I shared that with you, whoever it resonates with. Also, again, working with your solar plexus, because the solar plexus goes hand in hand with your throat chakra, because your expression is everything about your I am. Your I am is your solar plexus. And when you are confident in your I am, you can be an expression of that. You express it freely, right? You may hear some music in the background. This is the thing I love about Jamaica. You'll just hear, that's a taxi out there that's just riding with a speaker on the top of their car. It's a party on the road. And it's just the vibrations and the energies. And I'm documenting for those who, I am documenting while I'm out here, and I will be able to share that for those who are looking at how to tap into their roots, to looking at how to do that, how to go about that, tapping into your homeland, going back into your codes, your DNA codes, unlocking things that are in your DNA. All of this is what I'm doing while I'm here. I'm not just here on a vacation and sightseeing. I'm really tapping in really deep, to unlock the codes that we need to unlock, to really remove, finally, and release the misappropriations that are infested in our soul's consciousness. Infested. And when I say infested, also we invest, right? It's infested and we become invested. And it's for us to undo these misappropriations in our light code. So posturing your heart is definitely a way to go. Take this full moon energy. Use the passion of the full moon in Aries. Aries is that fire, that, that passion that takes the initiative, the will to do what must needs be done. Take that higher aspect of Aries, right? And with all the other planets, wherever they may be, I'm going to do another video talking about the planets, and where they're lined up and where they are. I believe Mercury, the communication, which is why the throat chakra has been coming up. Mercury is still, I believe, in Libra, which is our south node. So it's still kind of, there's communications that need to be had in order to move forward with collaborations and humanitarian, everything that the age of the Aquarian is opening us up to. For us to step into that, we must be willing to collaborate effectively. Effective communication is the key, and we have to go back. This is what our south node in Libra is exercising for us, taking us into that next level and unlocking codes. We don't realize how many codes we have, and just speaking to people. Allow yourself to connect to other people, because you don't know how many codes you're unlocking just by having a conversation. So effective communication, of course, being firm in your I am, right? What is planet for discipline? A planet for discipline. Oh, bring it back to me, Spirit. I have it. Saturn. Saturn is the authoritarian. I always say that word funny. Authoritarian. Authority. You must respect the authority, and that is Saturn. Saturn is the Lord of karma, and Saturn is shaking it down for us. So look at where your natal Saturn is. Saturn right now is also in Pisces. The Lord of karma is in the house of karma. So for these 2 years, from last year up to about 2026, Saturn is really the discipline planet that's calling you into discipline. And Capricorn is the discipline sign, which Saturn rules Capricorn. And that's why Pluto being in Capricorn right now is really closing out those old, I want to say those fake disciplines, right? To get us into true discipline within ourselves. That that moon that we had 2 full moons in Capricorn in the summer, was a window of opportunity for us to hold ourselves accountable and have discipline. And so go back to that. If you want to look at where you needed discipline, look at what was happening around that time with both full moons in Capricorn. And that was to really bring about accountability and responsibility to the things that were showing up for us, especially with Pluto, because Pluto went into Aquarius around that time in January, coming out of Capricorn, going into Aquarius. So there were some things to be reflected there. So look back into that and see. Believe me, the codes that we've been getting, the energies have been guiding us. We just have to tune in and listen. Go back and look at what has been showing up for you since March of 2023 into January of 2024, and even up to date now, and what is being reflected from 6 months ago with the last solar eclipse, right? With the nodes in Aries and Libra. There's a lot. The energy is really doing so much for us right now, but we have to be willing to take that opportunity, and we have to be willing to say yes to the universe. The universe says yes to you when you say yes and stop resisting. We must be willing to remove all resistance. Not resist, but remove resistance. And the way to remove resistance is to be in a place of willingness, of love and light, and the love frequency, and say yes to everything that is love, and understand your abundance, and stop looking at lack. There is no lack. It is an illusion. And that illusion is what Neptune is closing out as well. Neptune also being in 29 degrees of Pisces, closing out a full cycle. The 12 cycle is saying no more, right? So look at what the illusions are saying to you. And I'm talking about family. I'm talking about friends. I'm talking about government, politics. Everything that you thought was is falling apart, and it really is not what you think it is. It is a great illusion, right? This is a time for removing those things. So utilize this full moon, utilize the passion of the Aries full moon to allow it to bring up everything that needs to come up, and break those stories down, right? Get into your heart if you don't know where to start. Love, love, I see you. Peace. Oh, Janoa, love and light. We got your calendar. We need to get it to you. I've been trying to reach you. Yes, we must surrender our I think it says egos. Yes, ego death is really important right now. Please practice ego death. Death to the ego. And I mean the misappropriated ego, okay? Not your good ego. Not the ego that says, I am love, I am light, I am truth. Not that ego. But the misappropriated ego that has held so many of our fears. We need to allow that ego to die. Death to ego. In order to be reborn, there has to be a death, right? So I share that with you as I'm oh, it still didn't come up. I was looking for the moonlight, but thank you all for who came through. This was just supposed to be a quick pass through, but you know, sometimes when you all get on, I want to share the vibes with you. I want to be able to converse with you, answer the questions if you have any, and be able to give you the feedback. So thank you all. Do your research, get that discipline in where you can, because we need it. Know thyself. That's the only way out. Know thyself, and to thine own self be true. All right. So with that said, each one reach one, teach one. If you don't know where to start, start in your big, beautiful heart. Shine your light from the inside out, and be the candle that lights the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Happy full moon in Aries. And if I get another shot and a chance to come back, I will. Peace, love, and light.